On this week's episode of ADHD Pizza, we're going to begin with our first segment. Okay, you ready for this, Riley?
I like trains.
That's not the segment.
Got
Man, you do like trains. And you like ducks.
Quack.
Okay. Here's the first segment.
What's quack-a-lackin'?
What's
That's
that's
my line.
Riley's line.
Yeah, I know, but I modified it.
The first ever segment is, what U.S. presidents would you not kiss?
Is there none of the above?
You don't want to kiss any of them?
You said, would you not kiss?
Oh, you'd kiss all of them. Okay, so here's the thing.
I just winked for those not watching.
I would kiss Martin Van Buren, but I don't want to catch whatever killed him. I think it was pneumonia. Was it pneumonia? He was the one that didn't wear a coat to his presidential speech and died almost immediately after.
Yes.
I don't want to kiss George Washington
It's all a conspiracy, man.
because I don't like... Well, actually, you could pretty much knock out most of the first U.S. presidents up to about 100 years for the same reason. I don't want to kiss anybody who's missing teeth.
Why?
I don't know. I just, I like them with teeth.
Why you gotta discriminate like that?
George Washington had specific, dentures that he would wear to different events.
Yeah, but that's okay, right? Because he's got dentures.
So he's got teeth.
I guess.
So
He's
they'll
not
be the
missing.
nicest teeth you've ever seen.
They're nice and shiny. When he doesn't use them, he takes them and puts
No, they were made of wood, sir.
He puts a nice
Well,
coat
no,
of
they weren't made
linseed.
of wood. They were actually collected from his, let's use the word indentured servants. They were collected and, made into a... Whose phone is going off?
Apologies.
Not mine.
Anyway,
People are messaging me about Legos.
so Riley's kissing all of them. See, I would think I would be like, I'm never gonna kiss Andrew Jackson, but then he'd throw a
mean-
sick ass party and it'd be the best kiss ever after I'm tipsy.
He'd be like, "Come here, Sam."
Andrew Jackson was an absolute badass. Up there on the more modern end of the list, I would kiss. Which one?
Roosevelt.
I would definitely kiss
I
Roosevelt.
mean, that man
Only
wrote
because he sounds
platonically.
cuddly.
What?
Just
What?
his name sounds cuddly.
It does sound cuddly.
Roosevelt.
Teddy.
Teddy.
Bear.
that man rode a moose like a horse.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they can make just about any man cream his pants.
So, I would only kiss Bill Clinton if it was Monica's night off.
That's probably a good idea.
Well, I say, does it really matter if you're already kissing the man?
Nah. That would be too far from Sam's straightness. Kissing
Correct.
the man is one thing, but kissing the man after Lewinsky has recently kissed him after things
That
is
allegedly
too much.
did not
Allegedly
happen.
things.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
They weren't relations. They actually happened.
But I definitely would not kiss George Bush Sr., but I also would not kiss George Bush Jr. because he knows what he did.
Took way too much vacation time.
Yeah, no. We're not going to elaborate on that because this isn't a political podcast.
822?
What?
Hey, stop that. Anywho,
All right. Anyway, so the real topic for this week, it was all leading up to one joke that I'm not sure even landed. We'll see if anybody laughs at it.
it didn't land.
Ah!
All right. Maybe too far.
Oh my God.
Except for in the side of a building.
Oof.
Never forget.
Never forget Mom Spaghetti. Anyway, the real topic this week is going to be, we're going to talk about some nostalgic stuff, some old mobile devices. And this is anything from phones to MP3 players to
Personal pleasure
cameras
devices.
to
What?
virtual experience flashlights.
That's what I just said. I said your
Yeah,
personal pleasure devices.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to be discussing all of those. And the reason that I thought of this topic was 3G is shutting off next year. And I believe that most of us started
RIP.
with either 2G or 3G, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I started on 3G. That was all you had at the time. 4G was like a new thing when I got like my second smartphone in like, I don't know, 2014, 2015, something like that.
Thought that was when you got your first phone.
I did, but I got my first phone then, and I got a smartphone immediately after.
Ah.
Because my parents wouldn't let me get a smartphone, and then I was like, wait a minute, I'm paying for this. Fuck you, I'm getting my own phone. So I got.
Seems like Caleb has some info over here for us.
We'll go.
Oh, not particular info about the general topic. I have particular info I'm looking up about my first phone.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were looking up like when 3G and 2G and all that started.
No. I know my first phone in 2012 was on 3G.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think 3G was when I first got like, you were in a good zone if you had 3G.
Yeah.
But 2G
Yeah,
was prevalent.
Yeah, I still
Right,
had 2G
right.
on there pretty often.
The way that 4G is now.
Yee.
Because 5G's in bigger cities.
Have you guys ever actually had, like, in the past year, 4G work? Because, like, sometimes it'll switch from LTE to 4G, and it's just like I have zero internet. Like, it will
Oh, you
not,
mean 5G?
no, 4G.
No, 4.
4G
I
will
have-
not load a web page for me.
In rural areas, it's like that. Like
It won't
west of Warsaw.
It won't
wherever
load a
we're
web page for me anywhere. If it says 4G, it's like I have no internet.
I can't remember the last time I had 4G.
You can go into your settings and switch it. You
Really?
can switch your preference from
Yeah,
LTE to 4G.
I had no idea.
And you can switch it to 4G, and it will just give you nothing. Nothing.
Nothing.
I have to
Regardless of
say-
the bars.
So
I'd
if
rather
that's
have
the-
LTE a lot of times than 5G. Because I feel like the wait times on 5G.
I don't know. I don't have 5G.
So then what's going to happen to you then? If they shut down 3G and you can't get 5G or 4G?
I have LTE.
I don't know what that is.
LTE data is, I think it runs off 4G networks.
That's
don't
what I
know, but it's fast.
Because I thought it was 4G LTE.
I don't know, because it'll switch between 4G and well, you know what? We shouldn't misinform.
So you don't
our
have
listeners.
5G?
No, I don't have 5G. I mean, this phone might be 5G capable, but my network doesn't
What
offer
is
it.
it?
It's
An
an
11?
It's an iPhone XS Max.
Nope, 4G.
Yeah, and LTE, which is like I said, I can get both. Let me Google it. What's the difference?
Because I think the 12 was the first 5G compatible phone.
That sounds right.
Anyway, so we're gonna kind of separate it into segments. So there's gonna be like a phone segment, MP3 players, gaming devices, and then anything else.
Yeah, my options are... Sorry, ADHD kicking in. I have
Everybody's-
LTE
everybody's-
versus LG or 3G. I don't even have 4G.
You definitely have 4G. That's what LTE is,
So-
I'm sure.
So this says LTE technology is behind 4G. However, I definitely don't get reception on 4G, and I get reception, like good internet on LTE.
Weird.
But my 4G doesn't even load usually. Maybe there's some settings I have to change.
I'm sure. I wonder if LTE is like a mid ground between 3G and 4G.
No, it says it's worse than 4G.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like 3G is getting shut down, but I didn't see anything else about LTE being shut down.
Yeah, no, I don't think 4G is getting shut down either.
No. We're not there yet for the 5G coverage in the United States. You know, the U.S. in some areas is like 20 years behind in infrastructure,
Yeah.
especially like network towers, internet. Like, there's still plenty of places where all you can get is dial-up.
Beep, beep. All
Okay,
right,
so
Sam,
let's discuss.
Sam, what was your very first cell phone? Do you remember what it was?
I remember it was Alcatel something, but I don't remember the device name. It also didn't matter. It was like a $20 phone from AT&T, and it was a BlackBerry knockoff in 2014. So it was knocking off a BlackBerry phone that had been built in like 2006, and it was like 8 years later, and it was $20. You know, it was kind of nice. It actually had a speaker, which is saying something for some of those phones. It had a speaker. The keyboard was impossible to use because it was way too tiny.
Oh, it had a full keyboard on it?
It had
You
a
said it was
full
like
keyboard.
a BlackBerry variant,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
that makes
full
sense.
keyboard. And I had to get it. My parents made me get it because that's when I started working. And they made me pay for it. And then they would try to take it away at 10 o'clock every night. And it worked for maybe like 2 or 3 months, and then I said, "Wait a minute, I'm paying for this. There's no way." And so I mean, like, as soon as I had that realization, and it like obviously that didn't work the first time I said it, but you know I slowly whittled them down. And
Right.
I got my first smartphone very shortly after. Y'all want to know what smartphone brand that I decided to go with from the very start?
What?
Nokia.
Oh, buddy, it was a Nokia Windows Phone.
Oh, nice. I had one of those.
I was buying into the Windows Phone market because I was like, oh yeah, this will be the nice like weird third party thing. Do you remember the App Store?
Oh yeah.
Sucked.
There was
No,
like
it was no. The best thing was the third party coverage for apps back before apps blocked a lot of third party apps were fantastic.
However, all the mainstream apps were non-existent.
Oh, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah, no. So like there was no native Snapchat app.
Mm-hmm.
And I was using like a third party Snapchat app, and Snapchat had some big scandal with one of their third parties that was
Where
using
they were
their
just
app.
collecting all the data.
Yeah, and
I
so they
believe
had to block all the third party apps for Snapchat, and so there was absolutely no way anyone on Windows Phone could get Snapchat. I remember there was a version of Instagram that I still to this day liked way better, called SixTag, and you could just instead of, you know how with Instagram now, if you want to reshare something, and this used to be a big thing like way in the past, nobody does it anymore, but to reshare something, you would have to get a separate app to be able to find their post and then share it to your page.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
This one you could do it directly from the app, and you could save the post. You could save the picture from it. So if you were just looking at memes, you could just save the meme right there.
Beautiful. Or at that time, Rage Comics.
Yeah, they were definitely Rage Comics. It's like that folder I found on my computer. Did I send you guys that?
No.
I found a folder for my computer of memes that I saved in 2013.
I think you told us
It
about
was
it, but you never actually sent it to us.
Beautifully cringy. I sent some to Caleb, I think. They were awful.
Oh, you did. Yes.
They were awful. They were like, so unfunny. And I was like, yes, 2013 me thought these were very funny. Anyway, so yeah, I bought into Windows Phone to start with. What about you guys? First cell phone, and how old were you?
I had a Kyrosia Rise. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Kyrosia? Kyocera. That sounds like it might be right. But it was on Virgin Mobile. I was 16 years old, so this would have been 2012. I also did not get a cell phone until I was able to pay for it myself. So it was after I'd had a job for a bit, I bought my first cell phone and cell phone plan. Kyrosia Rise. It was a slide-out, clicky keyboard phone, Android. Could do quite a lot for the time. It was on 3G. It was on Black Friday sale for $30 at Target. I remember waiting in line for quite a while to buy that phone because it was on Black Friday sale from $100 to $30.
Whoa.
So, pretty decent deal. But before that, I did have a first-gen iPod Touch. I still have that first-gen iPod Touch. I was go-karting with, y'all know Kyle, and his dad. And it was in my pocket at the time. And I don't remember if one of them rammed me or if I hit a wall, but I definitely smashed it up against the side of my go-kart in my pocket.
Fantastic.
And it broke the screen. I do recall playing so much Call of Duty Zombies because I actually had a fantastic mobile. Like, it was probably the best mobile FPS at the time.
I would argue still. They're
it
bad.
might still, like, most mobile FPSs are rough. I mean, up until like
maybe up until COD Mobile.
I don't know. You get like COD
Mobile
Mobile and PUBG Mobile and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like the original, like this was 2013.
Yeah,
that
I remember.
had.
Wasn't it only? It was only Nocta Toten.
I think there were two. It might have only been Nocturne and Toten, but there were maybe 2 maps. But I remember having such a repetitive strategy for that just for the heck of it, after the screen was broken, and I mean like. Not like cracked. I mean like the whole LCD was white. Like there was no visibility. I was able to open COD Zombies. I'd get to like round 7 without being able to see anything on the screen.
How?
I could hear it. So I knew how many rounds I was getting through and when I was hitting stuff. But I couldn't see a pixel.
That's amazing.
I played a lot of mobile zombies.
That's so much.
You find the trench gun on the wall. Once you find the trench gun, you buy the stairs at the top. You'd wait to listen because you could hear the zombies when they were close to you. So you'd listen for the direction they were at, and you'd shoot in that direction.
How
until you got
desperate
enough
were you
points.
to play a game?
Very. You'd shoot until you got enough points to buy the stairs. You'd buy the stairs. You'd get the trench gun, and then there's that camping spot on top of the stairs where they can only come from in front of you. And you'd wait till you hear them, and you'd fire the trench gun a couple times. And you'd wait to reload and wait till you hear them, and fire the trench gun a couple times.
Oh my God.
I got to 7 that way.
That's way better than, I don't know, I would expect. Riley, what about you?
I just now remembered this isn't my first phone. My first phone was like a little bit longer and skinnier than this.
Uh-huh.
And it was from Virgin Mobile as well, but it only lasted like a month or two before I got on my mom's plan with my mom and my grandma. And like they had a family plan going, so I got my mom's old number from then. I've had that since like, oh my gosh, probably like 2010.
You've had the same number?
I've had the same
number since I've gotten.
Really?
I've never got a new number. I got my first number in 2012, and I've had the same number ever since.
My phone number that I have now, I've only had since 2018, and my family used to make fun of me that there were like 4 or 5 different contacts of me in their phones for how often I would change my number.
Maybe
Because I didn't care to whenever I got a new phone, I didn't care to transfer it. Because all my contacts and everything I used to use when I was still on Android, I used to use Facebook Messenger as my SMS as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got on that early. I didn't start doing that until like maybe 2017.
Can you do it on iPhone?
Do what?
Do the SMS messaging through Facebook?
Oh, you mean like actual SMS?
Yeah,
messaging,
you can
not
get
just,
your text messages
I don't
through.
know
Yes.
if you can. I think you can. I used to have a Text Plus. Text Plus was a texting app.
Oh,
That
gotcha.
you could have a second number from and call and text. And
Oh,
everything.
like Google phone numbers or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
My cousin just has the Facebook Messenger without having a Facebook profile.
Yeah.
Bailey.
Yeah, you can do that.
So
yeah.
I don't know if that's what you were talking about, but
No, you can do that.
like
so
actually send text messages.
Yes,
via your
actually
Facebook
send
Messenger.
text
like I
messages.
can text your number.
So instead
text
of
from Facebook
whatever the
Messenger.
base
So
messaging app
without me
is,
having
you can
a
switch it
number.
to Messenger.
I gotcha.
And then you get chat bubbles of contacts and stuff, which is nice on Android. I don't miss chat bubbles though. I really don't.
They brought them back for Messenger.
They brought
Facebook Messenger. Like chat bubbles were away for a while, at least on iPhone.
on iPhone. They just brought them back to
I don't
the
like it.
Facebook app. It's the worst. I want to turn them off, but I'm too lazy to do it. But yeah, they suck. Anyway, didn't mean to cut you off, Riley.
Oh no, you're all good. No, like I've probably gone through like 15 phones by now.
The screens break.
The screens break, or
I've only had my
We
screen break twice.
I think I've just upgraded every time and just kept the old phone.
Oh yeah,
Like all of these still all work.
really? Mm-hmm. They're all still functioning. That's crazy.
Yeah, this one's a little sketchy. The screen's a little pretty broken. But
Is that the one you just had? Your old iPhone?
no, those are all. So that's an LG.
Oh, okay.
That's a Motorola. That's a Kyocera. At least I think it is.
So, here's a question for everybody.
Yep.
For the majority of your phones, were you an Android or an iPhone person?
Android.
I was Android outside of that Nokia Windows Phone, which was also a slide keyboard phone. I don't know if yours was or not, but
Mine was
a
not.
Nokia.
You
it was
must
an
have had.
early
You must have
Windows
had an
phone.
early one
It was
because
a
I had like
very
the
early Windows phone.
I had the 540 or something like that. So they had
I don't remember
they had
what
the
it was.
500 series that was, the 500 series was like the budget brand, and then there was like the 900 series, like the 940, 970 or something like that. That was like the better ones.
Not gonna lie, I'm definitely afraid to move because this chair definitely split about 5 minutes ago.
Fantastic. Riley's stuck in place.
Like my leg is holding it up.
Yeah. Dude, go get a new chair.
I don't have another chair.
Oops.
The other one's in the burn pile. Looks like I don't have to go get to the ones in the storage unit.
I guess so.
I can't find the Nokia I had, but it was a Lumia something.
Yeah, because they were making them with Windows at the time. I don't know what Nokia is making now. Probably junk. I was Android like all the way through. I own no Apple devices except. No, I didn't own any Apple devices. None. I was so anti-Apple until last year. I bought.
Was it just last year?
It was just last year. I bought a iPod Nano 7th gen because the job that I had at the time only allowed MP3 players on the floor, no phones. And so I went to like the secondhand like Mega Replay or whatever and bought that, and I loved it. I still have it. It's fantastic. Need to replace the battery on it because it's dookie, but the thing works great. And for being an only music device or podcasts and all that kind of stuff, I would just download all that stuff on there. It was great. I loved it. And that kind of convinced me when it was time to upgrade because I had a Galaxy Note 8 for like 3 years or something like that. When it finally came time to upgrade, I finally switched over to iPhone in December. I've only been using iPhone since last December, so almost a year.
I want to say 2018 Black Friday. I bought the iPhone 8 Plus because they were running a special at Virgin Mobile. So it was like a $700 phone on sale for $500, and they were giving you a $300 prepaid Visa and giving you like 3 months of free service.
They really wanted to give you an iPhone.
So it ended up being like $200 after everything you got back.
Wow.
So it was a pretty good deal for a new iPhone.
Yeah.
And,
Are you happy with the Switch?
yeah. No, I haven't had any complaints. I like it. I get that objectively, hardware wise, most Androids are better.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
Unless you're using
only
it
if
to
you're
the
getting in a
max.
similar price range.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're getting in a similar price range as Apple, they are better from an objective level. But I still like the layout and the software and everything better on Apple.
I think that is truly the thing about Apple that is absolutely amazing is that everything that they make is theoretically, like objectively worse than comparable price wise. So we're talking Macs, MacBooks, standalone Macs, iPhones, the Apple Watch, all that kind of stuff. Objectively worse stats wise. But I will tell you that my Note 8 had a better camera, like objectively better camera than the next two iPhones that came out after it,
but
and
the
shot
iPhone
worse
pictures
pictures.
look so better.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's all software. Apple software wins me every time because, yes, they have less features, but every single one of those features works perfectly.
They haven't sold me on computers yet.
No,
like, I don't know. I
don't think I'll ever get an Apple computer.
they're
because I
so
like the
much
customers.
more expensive. Like an iPhone compared to a top of the line Samsung or top of the line.
comparable.
They're within $100 or so of each other at the time that they're new. Whereas a MacBook that's $1,500 is objectively like a $500 laptop from any other company.
Yeah,
I feel like you don't need the user friendliness and smoothness on a PC.
I don't really think it's that much more user friendly.
I don't think it is either. Yeah.
So
find it to be
I'm
more
not.
of a-
I would never switch to Mac fully. I would do Mac. The thing that I'm considering Mac for,
I know a lot of
is-
people like editing software on there.
that's what I was gonna say.
I
An
don't do much
editing-
with editing
An
or
editing
with.
laptop would be
Yeah.
great. I don't think I'd ever switch my main PC to a Mac.
I know a lot of audio guys and a lot of visual guys. Like artistically visual, not necessarily like display on the screen and graphics visual. Really like their MacBooks.
They do make it just because of the workflow with using Command instead of Control Alt is just a lot better. theoretically you can go faster with that. Not that most people are min-maxing their editing, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
I don't know. I know it's kind of counterintuitive because I use an Apple phone, and this is the thing people don't like on Apple phones. But I've always liked being able to like really get into the advanced settings and being able to like fix stuff and view stuff, like figure out what's doing what at what time, and being able to edit that, which you can do pretty well on a Windows-based computer. Like I was having trouble finding Control-Alt-Delete on Brooke's MacBook the other day. I was like, what's the equivalent of Control-Alt-Delete? And I finally found it, and you can't see processes or anything. It's just
really
like all you, I mean, there's a setting you can go into in the actual settings, but you have to like click like 7 different things to get to
gross.
view what processes are using what amount of RAM and all that, CPU usage, and I don't know.
And they're
I don't
so,
like that.
I will say, MacBooks last a lot longer than normal laptops. Like you could buy a MacBook.
I don't know. I've
that
never
came
broken
out,
a lap. Oh, you mean like they still work?
Like they still
function.
function for the things you need them for
Yeah.
a lot longer because Apple supports their products for a really long time. If you buy a brand new, MacBook, you can still sync up, charge, restore your first generation iPod.
Yeah, I know people still using their like 2011 MacBook.
Yeah, exactly. And sure, they're slow on newer things, but if all you're doing is like text documents, homework sort of things, then you're fine. Yeah, and they keep supporting them for a really long time, and I think that's really valuable. And that's contrary to popular belief. I don't think Apple reverse engineers, or what's the phrase I'm looking for, where they build hardware to not last.
No, they don't build hardware to not last, though they did get in a lawsuit that they lost over intentionally slowing down iPhones with software updates, where the hardware was capable of taking on a lot more modernity. Is that modernity?
I get what you mean.
It was capable of doing a lot more than it did because they intentionally slowed it down with software, so people.
But they can't do that now.
They can't, in quotations. As far as I know, they're not blatantly doing it, but they did, and they got in trouble for it.
That's interesting because I remember a time when it was very clear that buying the new iPhone was very important. But I feel like that since probably like the iPhone 6, that has become less and less of a thing. Like I know multiple people still running their 6.
I think that was a social thing. Like I think that was just the age group that you were around at the time. Like I'm pretty sure for most high schoolers it is still you have to buy the new iPhone. Like I think that's still a social pressure.
I suppose that could be. Yeah, because like my 12 works just fine. I have really no desire to go for the 13. I might go for the 14 if this one starts to slow down, the battery starts to go. But honestly, I'm okay with if you really like your phone or your device or whatever it is, like send it back to the manufacturer, get it retuned up, get it,
The only issue there with a lot of iPhones is it costs more than they're worth to do that often. Like
I can tell you it's better than Android.
Price wise, for a fact, that's true. Apple's, I don't know. I've always felt like Apple's are easier to repair, even though they're intentionally made hard to repair. I don't know if it's just because there's so much more. There's only one phone every year, so there's a lot more like third-party support online for how to do repairs on it.
I think there's also a lot more people that got into the Apple way of fixing and doing third-party repairs than they did with all the different types of Androids that came out.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've been talking about repairs for Apple and a lot of Apple stuff. We should move on to the next topic.
So anyway, repairs on Samsungs. No, I'm just kidding.
The screen for my Galaxy Note 8, because I cracked it in 3 different places, nothing that's like major that stops it from being used, but was going to be $350.
Now, one of the reasons for that is because objectively they are higher quality, better resolution, newer technology, more rare earth metal.
They did not need to make that screen curved.
No.
They made
but
that
was part of the selling point.
They made it curved on purpose so that it was harder to repair them.
I mean,
Or
it was
the-
kind of
the
just a
screen was
marketing
more-
thing. Like it was cool that it had a curved screen.
No, I really could not give a shit.
Well, I mean, me neither, but that was still part of the marketing.
Okay, fair enough. I
Just
suppose.
like nowadays, they have those folding smartphones.
I mean, I think those are pretty sick, but I wouldn't buy one just because I don't think they're gonna.
all
hold
I've
up.
heard is
Yeah.
that the glass starts crunching after like
I
2
believe
months.
that.
Like you're not gonna get, and the cost of some of those things. I was looking at one when I was looking at buying my 12, and the Motorola one was $1,800.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah,
And I bet if you need
honestly.
a screen replacement, it's like $1,400.
I'm sure, because like it's an impressive thing that glass is able to do that
Oh,
over and
absolutely.
over.
It's
But
probably not glass. It's more plastic than it is glass.
no, it's glass. It is 100% glass. Glass can do some crazy whack shit now. They're actually a lot of engineers are calling what we live in now the age of glass. You know how we've had like the steel age, industrial age, information age, the age of glass because of all the crazy shit that they've learned that you can do glass with. Yeah, 100% glass. They might be.
I mean, they're like tempered and treated. In
yeah,
different
they're
ways and
tempered,
different
treated.
coatings
They're
and-
infusing it with stuff. So there's like rubber infused with glass and all sorts of. It's nuts, dude.
That's crazy.
Dude, you look into some of the whack shit people are doing with glass. Like the fact that you can get a wallpaper TV is just a testament to what we can do with glass. And
A
but
wallpaper
a
TV.
wallpaper TV. It is a TV about, what would you say? This is about 3 inches, 4 inches thick, somewhere around there.
It's probably skinnier than that.
Yeah, it's skinnier than that, and you can roll it up and put it on, and you can roll it out and put it on your wall, and it rolls out straight. They're super cool.
And it's not a projector screen. It is the
Nope,
thing
it is
emitting
a
and
TV.
generating the picture.
That's got to be a real strong LCD screen then.
I doubt it's LCD.
I meant like whatever the
Whatever
I think
the
it's- I think it's
display is.
OLED.
Is it OLED?
It's OLED, I think.
Yeah, because it'd be like, I would guess it'd be like a giant ribbon board, like ribbon cable with the. This is just a guess with like all the OLED diodes on the ribbon
something
board.
like that, right?
It's got to be something like that. I don't know.
All right, let's talk about MP3 players.
So my first MP3 player.
And we're talking, I want to put us into perspective of like cell phones for, I think, except for you got into them a little earlier than we did.
Yeah, well, that was more of a necessity. Like you guys did it because you guys started working.
Right.
I did it because my mom and dad started working later, so me and my sister had to walk to my uncle's house,
Oh, yeah.
or like
That
what we
makes
were doing
sense.
after school. So
And-
she'd text me or call me or whatever what was going on
Yeah.
that day.
Also, you were just at school away from your parents every day. That was not a thing for Sam and I at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this was
But like when we were kids, MP3 players were like gold.
Oh, yeah.
If you could get them. Like if you had one, you were the shit, and it all mattered which one you had. Well, kinda. I guess in my friend group
That
specifically,
Zune, though.
the Zune was great.
I never had one, but I know it was,
Was
really
it
popular.
Microsoft
was
that
a
made the
shit.
Zune?
I don't remember.
No. Creative made the Zune. Microsoft made. What did they make? Hold on, I gotta look this up real quick.
I'm going to
Keep
guess
talking.
an MP3 player.
Keep talking.
All right, I'm going to keep talking. So my first MP3 player, I had one of those little like USB stick style ones with the Tamagotchi pet style pixelated display on it.
yeah. That's what I had on mine.
just the little like 1/4 inch by 1 inch display, so you could see the
What was playing?
what was playing roughly. If you actually got the music from a regular source, it would have the name on there. But I remember
the create. Okay, so Microsoft did have the Zune, which the first Zune failed spectacularly.
Spectrally.
Spectrally. It failed very, very poorly. Also, I need to point out a fun little tidbit of information about the Zune is that it had Wi-Fi in 2006,
Yes,
which
I
was
do recall
crazy.
that. They had, like, a
could not-
streaming app,
You
didn't they?
could not connect to Wi-Fi, but you could connect to your friend's Zune and
Interesting.
send music to them. You want to know what they called this process?
What?
Squirting.
I remember that now. I do remember that.
You could squirt to your friends.
Oh my god, that's kind of like this this grill out here has its own Wi-Fi,
Uh-huh.
so you connect that Wi-Fi to that.
Oh,
They call it Wi-Fi,
yeah.
but this comes from the app, so I can start my grill from my phone.
That's pretty great.
It's pretty cool. And it tells you the temps, and you can have your everything.
So I remember that first MP3 player I bought that I was mentioning. I bought it at the homeschool swap meet at the Memorial Coliseum.
Fantastic.
Was a booth all the way down at the very back of the stadium on the right.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just digging through a box, and it had like $2 marked on it, which was a good price for an MP3 player at the time. This was definitely before my first cell phone. I was probably like 12.
That's when I got mine.
And it was one of the little USB stick ones. It had the little like toggle left and right on the top left. It had a play pause button. And then it had, I want to say the toggle controlled the volume and the skipping. Like you pressed in on it and over to do one, and you just didn't press on it. It just went side to side to do the other.
That's annoying.
I think that's what it was. And I remember that toggle. I think it broke eventually. But it had music on it pre-downloaded. And it had Creed. It had My Own Prison by Creed on there. It had Arms Wide Open by Creed on there. It had Ring of Fire. It had some.
So it was like giving you the I'm trying to think of the word.
It wasn't like stock from the company. This was a used MP3 player.
Yeah,
So this was
yeah.
the music that was on there from the
It's
person
like
I
whoever
bought
sold it
from.
to you was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
implanting you with like the good music.
It had Billy Ray Cyrus on there. Don't break my heart, my achy breaky heart. I just don't think he'd understand.
Okay, so yeah.
I used that for quite a long time, and my brother helped me get some music for free to add to it. For
He
legal
helped you
reasons, that was a
steal?
joke.
He
But
helped you steal.
For legal reasons.
for
it
legal
wasn't-
reasons, the Pirate Bay is not something I'm familiar with. Neither is LimeWire or
YouTube to
Napster.
MP3.
Napster. Or none of those exist as far as I was concerned, legally
Correct.
speaking.
Legally. So my first MP3 was the one. It was like it looked like a thumb drive, but like a little bit thicker and wider. It was almost like you put like two,
How many C's?
about 3.
Damn.
But the USB flipped or folded in on itself, and you wanted to plug it in your computer to charge or to put new music on it. You'd fold it out, plug it in, do whatever you had to do, and then yeah. So my mom got that for me, or my grandma, or somebody in the family got it for me for Christmas or whatever, because we used to go like wake up at like 4 or 5 and go like walk at the mall or something to get exercise in before school. And yeah, so I listened to like the Jackson 5 and like
Fantastic.
a whole bunch of like whatever my mom listened to.
1, 2, 3, not again, Dad.
Oh yeah, I had Firefly on there. I had
You would not believe your eyes.
yep.
If 10 million fire.
I think I've listened to that thing at least
Swarmed
10,000
your body
times.
until you fell unconscious.
Yep, yep.
That's wait a minute.
And then he had Bad Day by.
I also had
something-
Fireflies on my first MP3 player. What?
What's that one?
I mean, he was real pop. I would say he was real popular. At that
It was
time.
a
That
very
like,
popular
That was
song.
around the time Fireflies.
I don't
came
think
out.
I've been able to listen to that song since 2008.
So what was the who wrote or who sang Bad Day? Had a
Daniel
bad-
Pewter.
You had a
I thought it was
bad
Powder.
day.
No.
It's like pewter powder, but it's if it's powder, it's spelled weird.
Yeah, it's got like an
I'm
E
gonna
instead
Yeah.
of
real
O for
quick
powder.
for you.
Anyways,
That was
then
that was a
I
good
think
one.
I had
Yeah, Daniel Powder.
then I had Follow Me by Uncle Cracker. That was
Of
my
course.
favorite song growing up.
That is such an awful
I know,
song
it's-
lyrically, but vibe-wise, it is.
Follow me, everything is alright.
I'll be the one to tuck you in at night, and if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. We
Yep.
could just sing that for the next 3 minutes, but we won't. We'll
I don't
save
know
your
it that
eardrums.
well. I only know the chorus.
don't know how you make me. I don't know.
The one that he does with Sheryl Crow is better.
Oh, what is that?
I don't remember.
Picture.
I thought it was Drift Away.
That's
No.
also a song.
Uncle Cracker did a whole bunch of.
Look at this graph.
That's Kid Rock.
No, that's Nickelback. What the fuck?
Damn it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
For shame reasons, that was a joke.
I'm sorry.
Oh
It's
shit!
a good joke. It's a good joke.
Like Nickelback.
Look at this graph.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I like Nickelback.
I don't mind Nickelback. I don't love it, but it's easy
Everybody
to listen
knows
to.
when you turn on Nickelback, everybody's gonna
Ooh.
listen and sing
Ooh.
along.
Another song that stuck in my head from an early MP3 player I bought. It was actually an iPhone 3. It was not an MP3 player, but I bought an iPhone 3 off of a kid named Brandon down the street.
Did you beat him up for it?
Yeah, real aggressively. No, I don't remember what I paid him for it, but I'm pretty sure it was actually one of his parents, and that he was probably supposed to turn it in. But it ended up being mine. But it had "Lips of an Angel" by Hinder.
Oh
on it.
my god, that's
yes.
another
Which
one of
for
those
some
songs.
reason, like really stuck in my head. Like that was in my head from then on forever. Like
exactly
I won't
like the Uncle Cracker song. That is such a good
but
vibe.
also an awful song lyrically.
Terrible. Just like.
Okay. When we say terrible, it's not like
It's
it was
really good to hear your voice
Saying my name and it sounds so sweet.
coming from the lips of an angel. Hearing those words, it makes me weak.
Like just how aggressively both those songs are about cheating.
I know.
Like
that was my
It
point. I was
really
like,
romanticized cheating, which I don't
did.
like.
It does. I really don't like that very much
But
either.
they're so vibey.
I know. There's.
everybody
I
knows
still
all
listen
the
to the.
lyrics.
I know all the words to "Lips of an Angel" probably
Same.
to this day.
Which I probably shouldn't have known at like 13 or 14 when I got it, but it was fine.
My first MP3 player, I also got when I was 12. My parents also bought it for me. And my dad had an iPod Nano 2nd gen. And he won it in some sort of like contest or something. And back when I first got my MP3 player, you could take a bottle, like a 20-ounce bottle of Pepsi, and take the code off
And
the
get a
top of
song
the
on
kid
Napster,
and
right?
get the song. I can't remember if it was Napster or what, but you could get songs from Pepsi.
Now I have to
Look it up because I
Keep
don't
talking,
remember
but
if it
I'll
was
Google
Napster or
company that
what.
was.
But I definitely had a bunch of Pepsi songs from that 2nd gen Nano.
Nano.
And then I also got like, oh man, I got into YouTube downloading before it was cool. Like,
The download the MP4.
yeah,
file.
download the MP3.
For legal reasons.
For legal reasons, I don't know what pirating is. You mean the guys who go on water and steal stuff from boats?
It was iTunes.
Was it through iTunes?
That's what it appears to be. I'm seeing
That
articles.
sounds right.
I don't know. All these articles are from like 2004, 2005.
Okay, so the Pepsi thing was before it was for my dad's Nano.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we downloaded those songs onto my MP3 player, and then I got other songs from downloading from YouTube, which for legal reasons is a joke. Yeah, I think I paid for music once on that thing. I think I bought a gift card at Walmart for like iTunes or something for $15, and that's the only time I ever paid for music. I mean, like I have like YouTube Music now, but yeah, back in the day, there was really no reason to pay for songs.
It was 99 cents a song. Yeah.
There's just
At minimum.
it was so expensive. If you wanted like a new song that just came out, $1.29. And if you wanted the
But-
30-second ringtone cut of that song, it was another $1.29.
To be fair, your other technical options were CDs or albums.
I had a
which-
lot of CDs.
which were generally more expensive when they were new.
Okay, so another thing that I found recently is my old CD collection, or the ones that I listen to all the time. I had it in this case that was like a elephant or whatever. And let me tell you how absolutely cringy some of these CD albums were on there. It was like early 90s Newsboy shit.
Nice.
But their songs were terrible. They were awful.
They all sounded the same.
They did, and they still sound the same if you ask
They
me.
do.
In 10 years from now, we'll say that all of our music today sounds
I will
all the
say
same.
there were a couple bangers on there. There were some Jars of Clay.
Mm-hmm.
There was Toby Mac's first album, which is still slaps.
It's pretty great.
A lot of Reliant K, a lot of Daughtry. There was some Taylor Swift in there.
Man, I haven't listened to Daughtry in forever.
Dude, if you haven't heard, I think his most recent album is Baptized. He may have had one after that. Baptized is great. I don't know why people didn't jump on it. I think it's because Break the Spell sucked. Or at least people thought it sucked. I still liked it.
I mean, people just don't know Daughtry anymore.
I
though,
know.
too.
He fell off the map. He never got the same, like, Kelly Clark. Well, even, honestly, to this day, Kelly Clarkson kind of fell off the map, too.
It's because she
But
started doing
everybody,
the voice.
everybody
Yeah, that's
knows
fair.
the name though.
That's true.
Well, she was
He
also
never
the
reached
first
that level.
And, like everybody
seen-
knows some songs from by Kelly Clarkson. Not everyone knows Daughtry.
I've
Was
seen
Daughtry
Daughtry in
on-
concert.
Was Daughtry on American Idol as well?
Yeah, second season.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't win, which is probably part of it.
Yeah, because Kelly Clarkson was the first American Idol, right?
Yes.
Winner.
Which one was Carrie Underwood?
Like 3 or 4.
Oh, really?
So I remember watching her win.
Yeah, same, but I don't remember what year.
I did not watch American Idol. I was not allowed to watch reality TV.
That's fair.
You know what's funny is I don't even remember what my MP3 players were after my first one. I'm trying to rack my brain. I think I went through so many of the like bootleg iPod ones that it just like all melded into one. Because I used to go to this shop in Columbia City where they basically did what you did for a little while, like bought overstock pallets of shit from like CVS and Walgreens.
Yeah.
And then they would just put it on a shelf and sell it
Oh
for
yeah, they
super
sold
cheap.
so many off-brand electronics at Walgreens.
They
so
so many.
do, but-
Yeah, so many. And so I bought like those bootleg iPods or whatever. I don't think besides my dad's Nano, back when he had that, I can't believe I even remember that. Cause yeah, he would have got it like 04, 05, second gen Nano. Besides that, I didn't have like any real good MP3 players.
I think I topped all of you guys. Like, technically, if you want to call it an MP3, it played music. But I lucked out selling popcorn for Boy Scouts the first year. Everybody got a ticket for the raffle, and the grand prize was a PSP.
Oh, dude.
Nice.
And I won that in the first grade.
Hell yeah.
So I had that growing up through like everything. So I've got all my music, all my movies, all my games, it was all on that, and it was awesome.
The PSP was the shit.
It never took off like it should have.
I agree. Well, okay. So I will say I loved my PSP, but looking back on it now,
Was it the original?
the
or
fact
was
that it had an
slim?
optical drive for DVDs
crazy.
is nuts. Like
Yeah.
how did they get away with that on a mobile? You shake that thing too hard and it ruins the disc. Like I had that happen multiple times. It happened to my Ghostbusters game. Damn it.
Oh.
You ever play Ape Escape?
No. Did you play any of the Siphon Filter games?
No.
Those were fucking great. Siphon Filter was awesome. Monster Hunter slapped.
What about ATV Off Road?
I played those. I did play those. They had a Ratchet and Clank game for
I
them.
played those.
The Jack and Daxters.
No.
I played them. I don't know if I owned them or rented them or whatever, but
What about the? You ever play Worms? Like
Yeah.
the
yeah,
Battle
where it's
Worms or
essentially Worms is like tanks but funnier.
yeah.
Yeah, I played
And
it.
then there was I played a Scooby Doo game.
I don't know about
It
that.
was pretty cool. Like it was like
Remember, you could buy movies for it.
yeah.
I had Napoleon Dynamite.
I had Pirates of the Caribbean and Narnia.
Fantastic.
I definitely remember watching Narnia multiple times.
Yes. And then at a certain point, you realize
was
that you could
really
just
good,
download
though.
movies for it on your computer and just
But
put
I
it
didn't
on there.
have one though. We didn't have a computer at the
Oh,
house.
you didn't have a computer.
We had that old compact from the 90s.
What year are we talking for you? Because I think I had mine.
Well, he
like,
said
later.
First grade
grade.
would have been like 04.
Shit. PSP didn't come out then.
It was
was-
brand new. It was like brand new.
So you had one
I
of
mean,
the
it's-
chunky
it's
first
still
gen.
Yeah,
had a-
I have the first gen
It
still.
still had an optical drive, so it
Yeah.
couldn't have been that new.
It was the very first iteration of PSP.
I had a third gen.
2005.
Okay.
That tracks.
Early 2005.
That tracks. I had a third gen.
I'll
mine
grab
was
it real quick.
mine was the thin one. Yeah, I want to see this shit.
And it still works.
That's fantastic. I want a PSP so bad before they get collectible. The PSP was great. Caleb, I'm gonna guess that you were a Nintendo DS kid.
I never owned a Nintendo
Really?
DS.
I feel like those were the staple of homeschool groups.
We were not. They were the staple of homeschool groups that were at least middle class. But
Oh, okay.
no, we and whose parents were okay with video games.
Right, right.
There was not a point in my childhood where one of the parents bought any video games or systems for any of us.
Really?
No, like they tolerated video games with restrictions, but we had to buy them ourselves.
Yeah.
So like our first system was a PS1. Played a lot of Crash Bandicoot, played a lot of Toy Story Racing, Crash Bandicoot Racing, Toy Story 2.
Dude.
I never played Spyro.
You never played Spyro?
No.
Spyro, you're
like
the
I
dragon.
have, but like I didn't play it with the
Sorry.
I didn't play it with the
I don't know if it's
PS1.
charged anymore, but
That is a chonky boy.
We got a GameCube pretty early on.
I think the optical drive went out on it. It's a hard time reading it. Yeah, you can see this back corner started sticking open.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that happens with these guys, but that is we need we need a picture of that for the Instagram at ADHD pot.
This
ADHD Pizza Pod.
My toggle, the little
No,
that fell off years ago.
it's a chonky boy though.
But like every time, always had this. Every road trip.
Look,
Nice.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I played
Hell yeah!
that was
I
my
played-
favorite game.
Played
and
that
I
on the
played
Xbox original.
Hours upon hours upon hours of that game.
It's so good. When I was going to homeschool groups, what's in it?
This turd. They'd always get stuck in here.
Yeah, there you had to come out real.
Oh, I had Super Collapse. I played a shit ton of that too. Super Collapse 3.
I just remembered an early on game that I played so much. Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Dude, the original.
So much. The original and a lot of 3.
I did not play. I didn't play any but the
was
original,
the best.
and I played it on the Nintendo 64.
Yep. Nintendo 64, PS1.
Could
I want
unlock
to say PS1.
could unlock Alien Ant Farm songs in the end of it.
Yeah, the music
That's great.
selection was great. I learned a lot of AC/DC from that game.
Yes, you did.
TNT specifically. And the cheat codes were fantastic.
Oh, big heads.
The third one, there was a cheat code.
Forgot you could pull the batteries out of the back of these. And
Fantastic.
There was a cheat code to play as Darth Maul with his double lightsaber.
yes. I remember this.
And you could like turn on anti-gravity.
You can also be
and-
in Need for Speed or Tony Hawk Underground 2. You could be Shrek.
beautiful.
I forgot they had almost full-size
Now,
memory.
when you say you played the first one, are you referring to the first Underground or the first Tony Hawk?
The first
You
Pro
said-
Skater.
You said Nintendo 64. So yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
Pro
the first
Skater.
Pro Skater.
So I was really the reason I was saying that, Riley, is because I was really behind with the PSP. I think I probably had my third gen in 2010, something like that, because I bought it at garage sale. There was
That's
a
when
point
That's when you know it's thick, when you could set it up.
when he
right.
set it up right. That's amazing.
I want to look up the serial number and see which one it was, because it's got.
I think
says
that's the
PS
first gen.
Well, it
It's
says
definitely
PSP,
a first gen.
1001.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
you mean like if that's the 1001, like that's the 1001 PSP ever made? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know, because it was. I
That'd be
mean,
pretty early on.
Yeah, so my gaming consoles. So I was a DS kid first before I had a PSP. My parents let me buy it weird. Like I think the Nintendo DS Lite. I had a white one. Bought it for $25 at a garage sale, and I think that was the first console my parents let me buy. Like they were not letting us buy consoles. We had a Wii, but that was about it. Yeah, I think the Nintendo DS was the first console that I ever bought. And then I went on a spree of buying all of them. All of the old ones that I hadn't played and just play a bunch of games through them. Used to sit, 6th grade me with my best friend at the time, used to sit in bunks separate from each other, texting each other about girls over Picto chat.
oh my god.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was a time. And then I got a PSP, and then I got a PS2 that definitely had a Hustlers disc in it. And then it was kind of the rest is history. I had an Xbox and Nintendo 64,
Yeah.
GameCube all at some time. So
Yeah. I've owned a lot of consoles, but almost all secondhand.
Yep. Yep.
I had a original Game Boy
In
growing
fact,
up. Game
the
Boy
Xbox
Advance.
One, I think, is the first console that I ever bought brand new.
I didn't even buy my Xbox One new. I bought it from someone on Facebook Marketplace.
Dang it. Look at you.
I haven't bought a new console, actually. Yeah.
Yes, you have.
No, I
Your
haven't.
PC.
That's not a console. It's specifically not a console.
These first gen PSPs are still going for almost $150 to $200.
Really?
I bet they had to have gone back up
Yeah, they definitely
for
dropped at one
vintage
point.
sake. Like there was a period of time where those were $40.
Well,
Yeah.
just this version, the 1001, is like 100 to 150.
I
Nice.
straight up would go back and play PSP again. Not Vita. I had a Vita as well.
I heard the Vita's crashed and burned. I never had one, but
it was such a cool system that nobody asked for. That's the problem with it. Like, I loved the Vita. I thought it was great. I never owned a single game for it. I bought the system because I saw it like for a stupid good price, and I was like, I can't pass this up. I thought it was so cool,
Yeah.
and everything about it was neat. Everything you could buy, and then you couldn't even play all your PSP games. Like, all I wanted
Yeah.
to do was play Final Fantasy VII, which I'd bought on the store like ages ago and could never get it downloaded on my PSP, and it
Bro,
never
you can
worked.
buy every replacement part for this thing.
nice.
Like
Just
the
replace the
screen.
whole thing.
I will, dude. I've still got like all kinds of shit on here.
We should all get PSPs and all play Worms. That'd be fantastic.
Was that a multiplayer? Like you'd play?
Yes,
yeah.
Worms
link
absolutely
together?
is.
Once
Do you know
you
what?
got 'em-
Have you? Do you know what Worms is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you play it together. We
It's
could,
like
we could do it on an Xbox too.
good.
Yeah, you would get on a local network. It'd be a LAN, but it'd be like a Wi-Fi LAN or whatever.
Yeah,
Ah,
I can
yes,
get
yes,
a
yes, yes.
replacement screen, an SD, and a battery for $40.
Damn.
Nice. What about buttons?
A new joystick module for the whole replacement, $6.
Did
Nice.
anybody make the jump into like the more recent mobile consoles like 3DS and
No, I never had anything past a Game Boy Advance as far as mobile consoles.
Did you have an
Game Boy-
SP?
I did not even have an SP. This
Oh,
was
no
the
backlight.
This was the wide one. I had
Yeah.
I had the case with the flip out light on it
Yeah,
for road trips.
The SP had this really cool attachment that you could strap onto the back of it that had a light that you could put on the front of it, but it also had a magnifying glass
yeah, yeah.
that you could make it like real big. That was really funny. I had a Game Boy Advance. My mom had an original Game Boy with Tetris
Yeah.
and Mario on it.
At
Dr.
my,
Mario.
At my parents' house still, we've got an original Game Boy, Mario, Donkey Kong, Tetris, and a camera cartridge. This thing could take pictures with the proper cartridge.
Oh,
There was
yes,
a
yes, yes.
camera
I-
attachment
yep,
for the
yep.
original Game Boy.
The Game Boy Advanced Micro. Do you remember those?
Yes.
The super small
Yes.
ones that had
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that camera attachment. Back in the day when I was looking at them, were like 120 bucks
Yeah.
for the camera attachment for that thing. They're going for $500 to $600 now.
I wonder what the camera attachment for the original Game Boy is worth. I mean, it was just
I have
pixels,
no idea.
but
No idea.
Even on Amazon, these PSPs are still going for $150.
nice.
Weird. Honestly, though, as far as consoles appreciating growth, that's not crazy.
But still, this thing is
It's
15,
also
16 years old now.
yeah, it's also
Yeah.
it's also barely older than the Wii. Like
That's true.
Like it'll probably appreciate more. Most of the consoles you're referencing it to are 5, 6, 7 years older than that. The PSP.
that's true. That's true. Also, the Wii has not appreciated value at
It's
all.
going back up.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, yeah. A Wii is like $50 to $80 now,
Really?
and they were down to being worth like
20 to 30.
10 to $40.
Yeah. I remember that. My family still actively plays our Wii. We have played it this year.
There's still not a better party console. I mean, the Switch
I
is
agree with you.
fun, but I don't think it's as good for more
It's-
than two people.
Nope. I agree with you 100%. There's nothing better than the Wii for multiple people in the room. There's something about the Switch is cool because you didn't used to be able to get 8 people to play Mario Kart
Right.
together. And that's neat, But there's something about just like handing the remote to somebody during Wii Bowling and being like, here, throw a couple. And that's it. Like they've never made anything since. But anyway, we've gotten off topic and we're right at an hour. So I think we should probably wrap it up there. But you know who really put it into the market?
Whoa. Before you say that magic line, my question to you is, what is your first big thing you bought as far as electronics go?
That I bought with my own money?
Mm-hmm.
The one that comes to mind is an Xbox 360.
I saved up the whopping $200 to get the first Kindle Fire, which is right here.
Yeah.
When I was like 13.
That's pretty dope.
I saved all my birthday money and like half my Christmas money.
Dang.
I don't know that I ever spent big bucks on electronic. I mean, when I bought the Xbox One a couple years ago, or last year, I spent $200 on it. And I think that's the most I've ever spent on an electronic outside of an iPhone.
What about your computer?
Well, yeah.
We're not going to talk about the price of Caleb's computer.
Yeah. For my stress reasons, that didn't happen.
Okay.
My stress reasons. But you know who really put onto the market about mobile devices?
Caleb Kruger.
That's true. Actually, before we do, I keep lining up. I keep lining up for the end of it, but we really do need to do
It's
like
a reverse segue.
We need to do a proper outro. Everybody, if you would like to follow us for any supplemental content that we decide to put up, we're going to put it up on our Facebook and Instagram, facebook.com/ADHD Pizza Pod. Instagram is at ADHD Pizza Pod. And then you can find our podcast.
Do we have a Snapchat?
We don't, actually. That might be kind of fun.
You could put it for the area.
Yeah, we could do that. That might be neat. I'd have to get that started. I don't know how to do professional Snapchat, so that'd be something to look into. You can also find us on anchor.fm/ADHD Pizza. I also want to give a huge shout out to the boys over at Printer Friendly for letting us use their song Evergreen, especially our good friend Josh. Thank you so much. And we're going to go out on that. The big promoter of mobile devices in our generation was Steve Jobs as a Disney princess.
Bye.